All right, let's move on. Texans and Jaguars. And the Texans, they get rid of their coach last week. They're playing free, and they put up 30 points, the most points that they put up this season. And why? I'll tell you why. Look at these pieces. We knew this Houston offense is good. We know they've had pieces. We love their running game. We love their receivers. And look what they went and did without Bill O'Brien. Well, David Johnson, 17 carries for 96 yards, 5.5 yards a carry. Fantastic. Using your weapons, and they didn't stop there. Look at this receiving core, folks. Don't get, too starstruck by Brandon Cooks, 8 receptions for 161 yards and a touchdown. We got Will Fuller, 4 receptions, 58 yards. Darren Fells, 2 receptions, 57 yards. Randall Cobb, 6 receptions, 47 yards. Kenny Stills, 1 reception, 14 yards. They're 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Their top 5 receivers are all actual wide receivers. That's what makes this team dangerous. That's what makes this team gifted offensively. The running game is there. The wide receiving core is there. Look at these receivers. Brandon Cooks, Will Fuller, Darren Fells, Randall Cobb, Kenny Stills. I mean, none of these receivers are A1 tier, but these are all A tier receivers. Fantastic. These could all be number 1 receivers on a not fantastic team. It's not a Kelvin Johnson. It's not a Julio Jones. These are all just very, very solid. These are all like Calvin Ridley's on the same field. So, I mean, these are all great talents. Randall Cobb, Kenny Stills, Brandon Cooks, all great talent, and they finally utilize them all. They utilized them all. I mean, look at everybody getting involved. Everybody. And David Johnson took care of the running game on his own, which he usually does. So, great game by Houston. Loved what this team could do. Now, Deshaun Watson, 25 of 35 for 359 yards, 3 touchdowns. Let's all marvel at that before I reveal the bad news, which is 2 interceptions. Not great. Got to clean those up, definitely. But I love what they're doing here. They're playing free, they're playing loose, and they're playing to their weapons, which is what you should be doing in this league. Play to your strengths, and your strengths are your offense. So go up and put up 30 points. That's what you should be doing, especially in this league where there's somebody scoring at least like 40 points every single week, like multiple people putting up 40 points. We'll talk about it when we get to the Chiefs-Raiders game because that game was a fucking shootout. But Houston finally getting back on track here. This is what the team should have been this entire season. So Bill O'Brien, I think we can officially report that he was holding this team back. This team hasn't put up 30 points at all this season. They had the opportunity to do so last week when they were at home, 2 weeks ago, whenever they were at home last. They had the opportunity to do it there. They do it here, and they do it very well. And now we can start buying into Houston a little bit more, playing loose, playing free, playing to their strengths. Gotta love it. All right, let's look at Gardner Minshew. I mean, the Jags are truly not good. We got Gardner Minshew going for 31 of 49 for 300 yards, basically right on that 10-yard per throw mark, which is where you want to be. 2 touchdowns, no pick, but he did fumble. They did have trouble fumbling the ball. Who fumbled? It was Gardner Minshew lost it and James Robinson. So, your running back, your quarterback fumbling. Who can you trust, really? I mean, you got to start having wide receivers catch the ball in the backfield. Is that what we got to do? But let's take a look at these turnovers because they both did commit 2, but Houston took advantage more. So their first, we got the interception by Deshaun Watson in the second quarter, but the Jags don't cash in. They miss a field goal off that turnover. Unfortunate. Then they get a interception. Again, Deshaun Watson's second interception coming in the third quarter. What do the Jaguars do with it? They fumble the ball, and the Texans take advantage of it and go down and score a touchdown. Then the second fumble coming in the fourth quarter, and once again, Houston takes advantage of the turnover, the sudden change of offense to defense. They take advantage of it, and they score a touchdown. So Houston able to score 14 points off turnovers, where Jaguars were able to score 0. That's the main story of the game. We're talking about, a 14-point swing here, a 28-point swing. You had 14 for Jacksonville. You take 14 away from Houston, and now this is an entirely different game. So definitely Houston has to clean up those turnovers. We can't have Deshaun Watson. He maybe played a little bit too free because he didn't have, a coach that he had to kind of, check himself under. So Deshaun, clean up those interceptions and it will be good. I assume he will. This was kind of, the first game with the substitute teacher. You can do whatever you want. Then he starts, the substitute teacher starts to implement a couple rules here and there to kind of gain some control of the squad. Everybody kind of reins it in a little bit and they perform better. So I expect this Houston squad to still be very good. And I expect Deshaun Watson to cut down on these turnovers a little bit and be a little bit more of a powerhouse. So we'll keep an eye on Houston going on this week. and the weeks to come.